as of now, we have created combining our two tables of education level and employee, and now it's time to move toward the other three tables, which are performance rating, rating level, and satisfied level. So I'm selecting my performance rating. As you can see in our preview tab, here is a preview of all the columns that is in our performance rating table. So I'm going into a preview tab and selecting all of the column names of our performance rating because I required all of these tables. So I'm just selecting it and copying it and removing this schema query tab, and in the select statement I'm pasting all of my column names, and now I'm just giving it a better form. Now in the form statement, I'm using my project name, which is HR and employee analysis, and then using the dot sign, and then my dataset name, which is data in our case, and then I'm using this dot, and then our table name, which is a performance rating. And now I'm just pasting it. Now I'm closing all of these, my project name, dataset name, and table name, into this heart sign, which is on the left side of one my keyboard. And when I execute this query, I get all the columns that I wanted in my performance table. Basically, I selected all the columns that are in our performance table. So now, as you can see in our rating level table, we have two columns of rating ID and rating level. And if I see in our preview tab, we have two columns. One is a numerical, another one is the alphabetic table. And now if you see in our performance rating table, we have two rating columns, which is self rating and manager rating, and these two also have a numerical column. So what I wanted is that based on these numerical column of a self rating and manager rating, I wanted to replace in with the alphabetic ratings as we have in our rating level, the same stuff that I use in my previous table joining of education level and employee. So I'm using the join statement and writing the same way my project name, my dataset name, and then my table name, and I'm giving it to a short name as to be E2 and E3. And then here I'm using on statement. So I wanted to see my result based on the numerical columns, so I'm choosing self rating from my performance rating table, as we have provided the E2 name to self rating. Table name of the performance rating to be E2 rating, so I'm choosing E2 self rating, and then rating ID from our rating level table. But what I wanted is that I wanted to see the numerical columns with the alphabetic columns. So I'm choosing this E3 rating level, which is alphabet column, and giving it a name to be as a self rating. As now you can see over there in the self rating, it is being replaced with that over alphabet columns. Now I wanted to perform the same step, but I wanted to do it for our manager rating. So we have to use the same join statement over there again, but what is the change in it, that this time we have to replace our table with some another stuff. Like this time I'm using the same rating level table, but I'm giving it a name to be as a E4. And now I wanted to join them on our manager rating and the rating level, and then I'm using the same rating level alphabet column in our rating level column to give it to be as a result of a manager rating. So now over in self rating and manager rating, the numerical column is being replaced with the alphabet column based on that. It is not that much more difficult thing to understand. We are just using the same table two times just to replace the same stuff, but with the different column names. As you can see in the self-rating, manager rating, we have alphanumeric columns. I hope that you understand what I'm trying to say. But for better understanding, we also have a three other column name that we have to replace with the satisfy level table name. So you can see over there.